Hey, what's going on, folks? Welcome to an all-new episode of Hella Single. I'm your host, Lamont Baldwin, and on this podcast, we have open and honest conversations about love, dating, and relationships with some of your favorite creatives. Super excited about this week's episode. My next guest is the multi-talented singer, songwriter, and DJ, and his debut album, Yours Saintly, is available on all streaming platforms right now. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for my guy, your guy, Saint Smith.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Is that what we're introducing yourself? Very royal, very demure. Speaking of, I'm really digging this ensemble.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
It's giving me Michelangelo meets.
Something, right?
Yeah, it's just a vibe.
Very saintly, right?
Very saintly.
Come on now.
I see what you did there,
Come on
King.
now.
I see what you did there.
You know what's going on.
Yes, but first of all, thank you so much for being here.
Of course. Thank you for
Welcome
having
to
me.
Hella Single.
Thank you. I almost feel like I've been here before.
I know, right?
In a way, but
It's
I'm glad to be here.
It's very eerie.
I know, right?
It's probably the saintness I'm picking up on.
Perhaps.
But before we get started getting all up in your relationship business,
Oh, okay.
congratulations are definitely in order, King.
Thank you.
You are officially a Grammy voting member.
Yes, I am.
So everybody out there, if you have any complaints about who was nominated, if the nomination looking kind of skewed to you, he definitely should be one of the people responsible.
Don't blame me.
But
Don't
this is
even look my
major.
way.
This is
Yes.
major. I know you're one of the people who probably watch the Grammys every year.
Absolutely.
How does it feel to now be a part of the Grammy family?
It feels amazing. I'm not going to lie to you. It does feel really good. I think, like you said, watching the Grammy year after year and just kind of seeing one way of ways you could be celebrated and just kind of going another direction and going into the Academy feels really, really nice.
It's major.
It feels really good.
How did that come about?
Well, they have like a really interesting application process. So I just applied, and then one of the things is you have to get some recommendations, some referrals from some industry peers. So that was nice to be able to go to some peers and say, hey, can you nominate me? Can you write about your experience of me? And they did. So I was really happy about that.
That's super
Yes.
dope.
So I was very happy about that.
Who were some of the people who were responsible for you being a part of the committee?
I ain't gonna tell because
You can tell one or two, beloved.
Okay. So I have a wonderful attorney friend, Brianna, who hooked me up, and then also an artist friend, Lindrix, who also got me right for
Fire.
my application. Yeah,
Dope.
shout out to him. Shout out.
So I feel like you being a part of the committee now
Mm-hmm.
just makes your nomination inevitable.
I mean, one would think, right?
Yes.
Okay.
You're already plugged in.
One
You're
would
in
think.
there.
I would love that.
You know exactly who the email if your nomination isn't pushed through. Like,
Let me tell you, I don't mind getting on my keyboard and
who's
Give it
going to
to them.
advocate for you? You know.
come on now. That's right.
But fire. A couple of my friends actually are part of the board now.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Nice.
I feel like I need a comedy album or something
Oh.
to get scooted through.
You know, to get
I
in.
had to leverage these relationships somehow.
Okay, well, talk to me after this, and we can make some shit.
I have my people call your people.
Let's do it.
Speaking of our people,
Mm-hmm.
we haven't seen each other since LA.
I know.
That was the last time I saw you.
I know.
In person, at least.
It's been a
And
long
not being
time.
Zoom. It's been a very long
It's
time.
been a long time. It's good to lay eyes on you.
It's good to lay eyes on you, too. So much. LA was a very interesting weekend.
Yes.
We did a video for your song, Never a Flaw.
Yes.
Still love that record, by
Thank
the
you.
way. And it
Thank
took me
you.
years to realize that it was actually like a remake.
Yes.
I thought it just didn't.
I should have told you that, but yes,
I feel like you mentioned it, but I never went back and like did my due
Do
diligence.
you? Okay, that's no problem. We got here though. We're here. It's okay.
Better late than never.
Better late than never. That's right.
But talk to me about like any memories you had from that shoot in LA.
Mostly I just remember feeling excitement, just feeling that artistic indie excitement of doing something new. And
Yeah.
I think for a lot of indie artists, finance is always a big piece of what we do and like how we are able to do what we do. So to be able to be in a position where, I can actually do a music video and have all my friends around and
And the looks were looking.
It was nice. I really did my due diligence.
No,
So
you
it
did.
was
You
very
did what
good.
you did what
It
needed
was
to
a
be
good-
done.
It was a good time.
Absolutely.
It was a good time.
When you think about, I feel like most artists don't really sit back and like just really marvel at how much they've been able to accomplish. I feel like it's always, I'm not there yet. I haven't got the Grammy, but
Yeah.
like you've done so much.
Yeah.
Are you able to like have those moments often?
I wouldn't say often, but I think often enough. I am a very goal-oriented person, and I do like to go for the gold all the time.
I'm
So
aware.
I am a person that falls into that category that you were just talking about. But I think like things like applying for the academy and things like that, they require you to reflect on the things that you've done because you have to like kind of almost write an autobiography for yourself.
Yes.
So it does make you recall all the little things that you've done. And
Mandatory
you're like, wow,
bragging.
that's wild. So yes, for sure.
Yes.
Yes, absolutely.
But
so
we
every now and
appreciate
then.
it. It did what it needed to do.
Every now and then. Every now and then.
So I've been asking everybody, how did this summer stack up to you in terms of your expectations of romance and love?
Oh, that's a
Because
good
it was
question.
awful for me.
Really?
The bar was very low, and I managed to go to hell.
Oh that's
Yeah.
well, Saint is here to bring you to heaven.
You hate that.
I hate that. So also my expectations for the summer were very low.
Yeah.
In terms of romance, I'm an independent on all fronts, and so I didn't really have many expectations, but they were exceeded exponentially, I'll say.
Tell me more.
I should have known. You're messy. It's like I'm just playing.
Are you usually resistant to like giving a guy attention initially?
Yes.
You make him work for it?
Yes.
What did you do the first time? You just like the testing?
Yes. Literally.
Well, I'm about that surprise. Okay.
I
You
did
made
not
him
tell
work for
him
it.
that, by the way.
No,
That was
listen.
a guess. That was a good guess. Why do you think that? Why do you think that about me?
Great question. Let me answer it for you.
Okay.
I feel, and granted, this is like limited knowledge.
Of course.
But I feel like when it comes to guys, you're going to make them work for it. I feel like it takes a guy to really do something abnormal and unusual for you to be like, I'm going to take you seriously. Because you kind of been like popping for a while. You know, you're not no newbie when it comes to having people know who you are. This is like, you're true to this, not new to this.
But
So-
I don't think it has anything to do with that.
Oh, gosh, okay.
It doesn't. I don't think it has to.
doesn't?
It doesn't. It doesn't have anything to do with that per se, just as much as, even if I wasn't popping, I don't have time for a lot of stuff.
I'm not that easy.
I don't have time
I'm
for
not
it.
like the rest of the girls.
Time?
Shut the fuck up.
I don't have
I
it.
really appreciate you responding, though. And he took the initiative to continue to reach out.
Yeah.
He put in the work.
Yeah, for sure.
What does it take for you to actually make the decision that, I'm going to take this guy seriously?
Well, it takes a couple things, and it's not always the same across the board. But some of the things that I do look for is consistency, for one.
A cash out notification?
I mean, I'm not looking for it, but I ain't gonna look away when it comes now. Come on now. I think sometimes rooting it in money can be a little dangerous, but I do appreciate the effort, for sure.
I'm not saying that's the entire way to
course.
show your
Okay,
affection.
okay.
It needs to be supplemented with the other stuff, but, it definitely helps. The icing
No,
on the
the
cake.
other stuff needs to be supplemented with the money. Come on now. Come on now.
You got to speak for yourself on that one. I
See,
appreciate
that's why summertime didn't go. I'm sorry.
Fuck you.
Cut my mic off.
Did y'all catch that? Okay, so I'm curious, how do you usually meet guys? Are you on any of the apps? Jacked, Grindr, Scruff, Tinder?
I'm not on any of the apps, but I love using social media to meet people just in general. So generally speaking, it's like Instagram or Twitter, the
Yeah.
DMs, that little DM game, mostly.
And you usually reach out first?
No. Who had been saying that?
Nobody. Clearly.
No, I don't usually do that.
As you giggle.
I don't.
What type of guys do you usually go for?
Also, I don't. What type of guys go for me? Come on now. Did I eat that one?
You nibble.
Okay.
You nibbled a bit.
Okay.
You didn't answer the question.
What was the question?
What type of guys do you usually go for?
Good guys. Good guys.
Define good.
Define good. Okay, so good being, again, like consistent, considerate, emotionally intelligent. That's an element I haven't spoken on, but the emotional intelligence is
Heavy on that.
major for me. You got to know how to have a conversation, how to resolve conflict, how to have arguments and fight above the belt.
You've been around for a while, especially in the social streets. You know what I
Okay.
mean? A Renaissance man,
Thank
a
you.
singer, songwriter, DJ. So obviously everybody knows you. It's been fantastic to watch your journey. I'm curious if it's been a conscious decision to display your art but keep your romantic life private.
Yes, I would say so.
Tell me why.
Well, I think seen a lot of examples of where, that public display always ends up in some way or another biting you in your ass. So I just didn't want to be bit in my ass.
Ditto.
Yeah.
Ditto. I've never been in a public relationship either.
Really?
Yeah.
feel like I know somebody that you used to talk to.
Yeah, but it's
It wasn't
not
public. It wasn't because it's public. Okay. Okay. Is it for the same reason?
You trying to embarrass me on my show is crazy.
Oh, is it embarrassing?
Crazy.
I apologize.
Crazy.
I know it's embarrassing.
No,
but-
who?
Oh,
Tell
you said
me
this with Al real quick. He said, who?
my
who,
ex.
who?
I know you. I know you know my ex. I know you know my ex.
Uh-huh. But
Go
I
over
couldn't
the
remember. I can't remember how I know. So I couldn't remember if it was because it was public or just because I had a little producer in my ear. Hold on. He said it was public. Okay, so I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Okay, just thank you so much
Okay,
for that. I appreciate your time.
Yeah, producers.
Okay, yeah. That was public. My biggest concern about being in a public relationship is the public breakup.
Right.
And then people obviously felt entitled to know why it ended.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yes. And I'm one of those people. I like to know. I mean, you've included us all on the front end, include us in the back end.
Got it. You're nosy. So let's talk a little bit about your last situationships, right? And obviously there were some situations that didn't see the distance.
Sure.
What do you attribute that to? What did you do?
What I did,
How
cut
did
them
you-
off.
how did you fuck
got
it
them
up?
out of here? That's what I did. Got them out of here. But it could be any number of things. You know, mostly it's the things that I talked about. The good, you know, those things weren't happening. So lack of consistency, lack of emotional maturity, lack of common sense, lack of smarts. I mean,
lack
it could
of
be
common
it could
sense.
just be any combination of things. Come on now, you know how it goes.
I don't.
You do.
That's why I asked.
No, you know how it goes. You haven't had situations that didn't make the distance?
Yeah, but recently I haven't necessarily like addressed it. Like I just let it fizzle out.
Oh, not you a soda.
I'm a punk ass bitch.
Not
yes.
you a soda.
Yeah,
You
like
fizzled out. Okay.
yeah. Sometimes it's just like, if let's say we're dating, saying, I really appreciate the time you spent together. I'm just getting more of a friendship vibe right now.
Okay, so that's not a fizzle out. That's a very direct communication.
No, but I'm saying if had I had these conversations, you're naturally going to be like, well, why? What did I do? Is it something that I did? Is it us? And I hate having to be specific. There was this one guy I was talking to. The worst breath.
Oh.
The worst breath. I thought, sometimes everybody's breath has like
Has a day, you
Right.
know. Correct. Right.
But it was a week.
Okay.
And I just didn't have the balls to say that to him.
So what, you just kind of, you ghosted?
It wasn't ghosted. Fizzle.
What's the difference between a ghost and a fizzle?
A ghost is like, you see me now, you don't.
Okay.
Right? A fizzle is, I'm still responding to your text messages, but nowhere near the same amount of enthusiasm.
So we're breadcrumbing. You ever heard of that? When you breadcrumb somebody, you just leave them little pieces. You just, every now and then, and you just.
That sounds about right. I don't want to say no. That sounds right.
Okay, sounds about right. Okay.
But I'm going to use fizzle.
What's your sign? Because when I have to do my hands in a double gun and ask a question.
Pisces.
Okay. Okay.
February Pisces.
Check. Oh, I'm by no means an astrologer. I'll just leave that to the floor.
Don't bite your tongue now.
Bitten. Okay, go ahead.
Great, because no Pisces slander is going to be tolerated today.
None. My sister's a Pisces. Shout out.
March or February?
March.
The worst. Oh my God. I know she has a mouth on her.
Shout out to my sister. She knows
Sorry.
what's going on.
Yeah, I'm sorry. But yeah,
This guy.
sorry, sis. But I know. I'm a March Pisces expert.
Okay. Okay.
Anyway, back to the questions. Let's role play.
Okay.
You're breaking up with me because I wasn't consistent.
You weren't consistent.
Sorry.
Okay.
Asshole.
Okay. So if you're not consistent, so now we have a different conversation, which may actually not be a conversation at all. If you're not consistent, then I do the fizzle. If a person is not consistent with me, then I'm a fizzler for sure. I'm not going to be, hey, you're not consistent, so it's over. Like, I'm just going to go ahead and just let you be inconsistent, and I will just do the same.
But you just judge me for doing the same thing.
No, I ask questions. I asked the difference. I didn't judge. Now, I can judge up in here. I'm a law student. I go to school, right? I can do some judging up in here. I can. If you want me to, I can.
I don't feel like I deserved any of this, in all fairness.
Sorry.
In all fairness.
Sorry. I can, but I didn't.
Okay. So you've lived in DMV area. You lived in
DMV
LA,
area.
and now here in Georgia.
Okay. Yes.
What's been the biggest differences on how you had to navigate dating in each city or area?
Well, I think, your home area is always going to be a little bit of a different experience.
Yeah.
But when you go to other places, there's that element of like fresh meat. So, when you're kind of like out and about, people seeing you for the first time.
The bourgeois on your body in LA.
Potentially. I actually don't remember much about LA, but I did have a good time. But what I can say is that coming to Atlanta is a little bit different because I knew a lot of people in Atlanta parasocially. So when I got here, I got to meet a lot of people.
You didn't start from ground zero.
Yeah, I didn't have to start from ground zero because it was up. It was up.
Got it.
It was up.
A lot of people talk a lot of shit about dating in Atlanta. It's hard. What's your experience been?
Minimal. I haven't done much dating in Atlanta. No.
You're one of those guys who are obviously open to long distance relationships and long distance dating. Were you always like that?
Well, I don't know where you got that information from. I wouldn't say that is accurate, but I have done it.
You've done it before. It's just not. It's not a normal thing for you.
It's not my favorite. It's not my preferred, but I have done it.
When I do recall you telling me this, because don't make someone just pulling the shit out of the air. Hold up.
Oh, okay.
Didn't you tell me that? When you were in LA, you were talking to somebody in the long distance?
Yeah, but it wasn't my preferred. I didn't like love it, that element of it. You know, I would do it and I have done it, but it's not like, oh, I'm like running. Who's long distance? Let's get, you know.
I mean, if you meet niggas online in DMs, you know, they're probably going to live out the state.
But not always. But I mean, I'm not opposed to it. I'll say I'm not opposed to it, but I'm not like running toward it. Yeah. It's not like, you know, that's not like one thing that is a must have on my list. You must be long distance. No, that's not accurate.
It's kind of convenient though if you think about it.
In ways it is.
Right. You can do your own thing. You don't have to be smothered.
I like to be smothered.
I bet.
Give me all the gravy. All the gravy. Yeah, smother me.
Speaking of being smothered, are you usually more submissive or dominant in relationships?
Next question, Tamika, for you don't get what you need.
All right. In situationships, do you find yourself to be more submissive or dominant?
I'm a good mix of both.
Yeah.
I'm a good mix of both. You know, I think that submissive saying is something that many people don't get to see, so that's more of a privilege. But you know, I think it's a little bit of both.
In my mind, a lot of guys who see that submissive side feel like they got that inch and then take a mile. No?
Maybe. I mean, I can't. I don't do too much mind reading.
I mean, if anybody's lived the experience, it's you. You know?
Was that shade, Phaedra?
No shade. No. That wasn't. I'm sorry.
Oh wow. Okay.
That was an unintended.
No, it's okay.
stray.
I take it. You know.
Anyway, next question. I'm very surprised at like how guarded you are.
Why? You think I'm guarded?
A little bit.
What does that mean? Give me the definition.
The literal, the regular one.
Just guarded, like, as opposed to like you have other guests that just like
tell everything.
I can't wait to see.
And I'm going light on you. You know, in fairness.
I know. Thank you.
But let's turn it up a little bit. Let's just bring it on home with the album talk because I'm kind of here to talk about the album, right?
I mean, talk about whatever you want. This is your show.
Yeah, maybe we just skip the album. Thank you so much to St. Smith for coming.
Please don't edit that out. That's gold.
You know what, Omarosa? Thank you for coming on my show.
You ate that. You ate.
Shout out to Whitney Williams. All right. Okay.
You ate that.
Speaking of being guarded, it's crazy that you ain't saying shit now, but you're super vocal and forthcoming in your album. And I would love to talk about it. Your Saintly, your debut album. First of all, congratulations on that.
Thank you.
I know it's a long time in the making.
Yes.
Singles and EPs and mixtapes, but this is finally a complete body of work.
Yes.
That feels like an album.
Thank you.
There's a postlude. I've never heard of a postlude before. Are you the first?
No, of course not.
What other artist has done a postlude?
I can't tell you off the top of my
Make that shit
head, but
up.
I didn't make it up.
Did you co-sign this? Did you co-sign the postlude?
Now, please don't make me get in my Google bag.
Show me.
I will.
Now, listen,
I got
all
you.
that's it's very creative. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
And I think that, like, when you think about a conceptual album, interludes need to be a part of the mix.
For sure.
Right?
For sure.
Just want to make sure we're clear. Interludes are important.
Yes.
Some of my favorite records in some albums are the interludes.
Name them.
I Don't Wanna Hurt You, Danny D. Kane.
Oh, that's a good one.
Right.
Okay, that's fine. I thought I was going to be able to catch you. I thought I was going to be able to catch you. I'm sorry.
Drake had the album Omarion's on it. I think it's called like Sasha's Interlude. Bria's Interlude.
Oh, Bria Miles.
Yeah.
Okay.
I never heard a postlude.
Okay. Yeah.
Like usually when the song is over, it's over.
Right. Yeah. Well, postlude I think sometimes just kind of gives a little bit more context or another vibe.
Yeah. I'll take it. So this album, I know it's been a long time in the making. Talk to me about the creation of this body of work. How long did it take you? And what was the thought process?
It was a little bit over a year that it took me. I usually work pretty independently, so my producer would send me records and I would just sit with them and write to them and record and then send them back, and we would just kind of have like a dialogue that way. But I usually just like work out of my house and just love to be in my vibe and be in my way. I think that one of the things I always tell like independent artists is to always find a means to record yourself if possible, because it just makes it easier. You don't have to pay for studio time. You don't have to worry about anybody else's schedule. You can just do things on your own. So that's pretty much how I approached it, just wanting to be super reflective and introspective and give myself the space to do whatever comes out.
Well, the album was definitely well received. It went to number 2 on iTunes.
Yes.
And when I tell you, everybody in my life had mentioned at least one song.
Yeah.
But the person who really sung this album's praises was my ex-boyfriend.
Wow.
But let me show you. You wanted me to send you this. And no, it's not nudes.
I have so many questions.
It's not
about
nudes.
That. Well, I mean, it could be. That would make it a little bit fresher this morning, but I'll take whatever it comes. Give me the phone right now. Oh, this is your ex?
Yes.
I got some questions. Let me play this.
Well, ask after you watch it.
Okay.
Sage Smith. It's Aaron. Big fan. I wanted to stop by really quickly to let you know how much I love and adore your album, Your Saintly. What a debut. The production, the vocal production, the backgrounds, the lyrics, the choices that you make when you sing blows me away.
Wow.
The album has been on repeat upon repeat upon repeat upon repeat. Thank you so much for making such an excellent piece of music, and I cannot wait to see what's next.
Wow. Thank you. I appreciate that.
Wasn't that sweet?
That was very sweet.
He was talking about the album. He was like, the production, the vocal production. I was like, that was great. Now record it so he can hear that.
Wow, that is so cool. Thank you.
So your album's definitely been in my ether.
Thank you.
I would love to talk about some of my faves.
Please.
And the ones specifically that pertain to the tumultuousness of relationships.
Let's do it. What you got?
This is a super honest record.
Yes.
Were all of the songs inspired by true stories?
Yes. All of them.
Very Taylor Swift.
Yeah, very much.
Talk to me about the decision to have that level of transparency in your work.
Well, I am a historian by study, so archiving and documentation is very, very important to me. And I thought that it would be just a great opportunity for me to utilize the music to immortalize where I was in life at the time. And I thought it was really important for me to tell the story the way that I wanted the story to be told.
Speaking of how you wanted it to be told, how did some of the guys involved in some of these stories feel about this album?
Well, they didn't tell me how they felt, but I did do some sharing prior to the release. I did some small little intimate listening parties and let people, kind of perceive what the songs was about.
Was anybody right? They're like, I know number 3 is about me, for sure.
Well, no, I kind of actually made people aware.
Oh.
I did write this about our experience. Just want to let you know before it hits the streets.
Did anybody ask for any publishing?
No.
No? Okay.
No.
Just said.
No.
Technically, y'all co-wrote it. If y'all lived it together.
No.
No, I'm just joking. Don't go out there.
No. But when they do their album, then they could. Okay.
That's actually a really great question. Do you usually date artists?
No.
Are you against it?
Yes.
You know how I know?
Why?
Because you were already threatened when I was singing.
Oh, you said. I said, go ahead, Lamont.
Those were my harmony notes. Those were my harmony.
Sorry.
Are you finished? See, I definitely couldn't do background for you.
Why? You could.
Because you're threatened by other strong vocalists.
This hand is diabolical.
That's how you know I mean it.
It's diabolical. It's so diabolical, for real.
We got to talk about Round and Round.
Round and Round.
That was the first song that I got introduced to from the album.
Okay,
And
yes.
my absolute favorite.
Thank you.
But clear something up for me.
Okay.
There's a line in the song where you say the guy leaves without saying goodbye.
Okay.
Right?
Uh-huh.
Tell me what that means. I'm curious. Did he like ghost you? Did he like leave you at the side of the road? I created a story in my head, just not sure how accurate it is.
I like those two options, but neither of those are necessarily the case. But what would happen is we would be getting into arguments and like texting, and then like right while I'm in mid paragraph, he would block me. So that way, when I sent the message, it would be like green, and I'd be like, "Oh my god,
toxic."
So, yeah, very toxic. So that's what
And you stayed around for that?
A little bit.
I hope that's not the guy you're dating now.
No, it's not. It's not.
Are you sure?
Are you messy?
No, I want.
I want to know. Are you messy?
A little, but
Okay.
let me just.
I wanted to know that.
It's funny because in my mind, you run a tight ship.
I do.
But I hear the album, I'm like, he's running amok. These are turning you every which way but loose. For me, it feels like you have to direct. You have to give a lot of direction and a lot of instruction to the guys you date.
I would say that the ones that I have dated, yes.
And isn't it exhausting to you?
It does.
Okay.
But that's just the you have to take the good with the bad. You have to take the exhaustion with the good,
Another one of my favorites from the album is Take Care of Me.
Oh, okay, yes.
It talks about how if you got the opportunity to experience me romantically,
yes,
you need to be able to take care of the prized possession that is me.
Correct.
You write one of my favorite lyrics. Not ashamed to say in my 30s, I'm high maintenance. And if you want to get with me, you better come through and not play with it.
Yeah.
Bars, right?
Bars.
Talk to me about what that means to you.
Well, I am in my 30s, and I think that a lot of the things that we put up with in our 20s and a lot of the concessions we make in our 20s just are not available.
Absolutely. Say that shit again.
It's just not on the menu.
I'm not willing to do it in my 30s.
I'm not willing. I'm not doing it. So if that makes me a little bit high maintenance, I'm okay with that.
How often do you come across a guy who does play with it?
Not often. I think that as people have listened to my album and gotten to know me, they know that that's not an option. And I think that most guys, when they do like start interacting, they see very quickly, okay, this is not what I thought.
You thought it was. Another one of my favorite lyrics from that particular song is, "Can't just everybody say they had a piece of St. Smith."
Correct.
Is that exclusivity something that you value?
Yeah, it's a little virtue signal,
Another lyric, we go back to Round and Round.
Okay.
"If you're supposed to be my lover, then I understand why you make me cry."
Yeah.
Powerful.
Yeah.
How did you reconcile with that? Is that the reason why it ultimately ended?
Not ultimately, but I think just again, this album was about self-reflection and self-analysis for me. So it was important for me to question those things and like identify like, hey, this is what happened, and here's the part that I played, or here's what I'm left with, and let me just kind of sort through that in a way that makes sense.
There's two questions for you, and we're almost at the end of the time. The first question is there a part of you as an artist that allows yourself to go through the difficult emotions or like the shit that you probably shouldn't for the potential song that it can possibly bring about?
No, but that is something I think about as I'm going through like various situations. I be thinking like, oh my God, this is this will be an amazing song.
Yeah,
like,
this is bad.
I can't wait to get on the other side of this because I'm gonna write the hell out this song.
Be the one.
Yes, I don't purposely get into situations, but I do lean into them for their artistic merit.
And when you are in a situation, well, in the past, right, when you were in those situations that you knew you shouldn't have been in, right? Hence the song title, Round and Round. And I really love the postlude with your pastor. And he said something profound. He said, I wouldn't have even went through this cycle 2 times.
Right.
And this is continuous for you?
Yeah.
What do you attribute that to? Like, why couldn't you just ultimately end it with this guy?
Well, I think like Round and Round wasn't about one guy in particular. It was about just like guys in general. But nevertheless, I think that, we all have been in those situations where outside of what we know or what our friends are telling us or what we feel deep in our heart, we want to give somebody a chance, or we see somebody's potential, or
right.
we see, we remember how it felt when it was good. Those kinds of things kind of keep you in that cycle. So I would say that.
Yeah. Well, we got to wrap, man. Thank you so much for coming
Thank
through.
you. Thank you for having me.
Go ahead and plug your socials.
Saint Smith everywhere. Saint Smith, Twitter, Instagram. Those are the 2 really that I'm on mainly, but Saint Smith. just find me. There are some other like little fake Saint Smiths, but you know, big Saint.
That's the real deal
Big
right
Saint.
there. The
Big
real
Saint.
Saint
Never the little
Smith.
one. Never the little one.
I do want to sincerely thank you so much for being
Thank you.
here.
I'm
You know how
so
much this
appreciative.
means to
Yes.
me, and I'm so happy to reconnect with you, and I'm so proud of you.
Thank you.
Like listening, I have a lot of creative friends, a lot
Yeah.
of but you know how it is.
Yeah.
Everybody doesn't necessarily follow through.
Yeah.
Everyone doesn't believe in themselves enough to go the distance.
For sure.
So the fact that you believe, and you rightfully so, this is so solid.
Thank you.
You know what I mean?
I
Like
appreciate
it's especially for a debut.
Yeah. I appreciate that.
And we're our ears and eyes are peeled for new music.
Yes, I got some coming. I got more coming.
Okay.
Yeah.
We'll be looking out.
It's gonna be good.
You guys, make sure you get Saint Smith's debut album, Your Saintly. It's available on all streaming platforms right now. And I got the hard copy, hoes. This has been another episode of Hella Single. We'll catch you next time, y'all. Peace.